Okay, right now we'll still go to lab number 3 and let me just share my screen. Okay, so this is what we have done in lab 3. Let me just turn off this first. So let's say I close this palette. All right, so lab 3 is basically on control logic, and how it works is basically what we need to do is to control a certain logic. And right now what we wanted to do is let's create the config. Let's create a new folder called fan control. Yeah. Let me just put down lab 3 fan control, doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, so lab 3 fan control. So under the fan control, this is the wire sheet. You can just double click on the wire sheet. So with that wire sheet, right, we want to open a palette. So open a palette, you go to window again, sidebar, palette. Yeah, and can open a palette. All right, so with that palette, right now, what we want to control is we want to put some points inside. Let's go a little bit and put up points. Right, so with points, we can go to a control palette, points, and what we want to put is Boolean writable. So for Boolean writable, what we want to put is basically to put this and put it here. So Boolean writable, and we want to learn as fan. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that actually this fan, right, is Boolean. Boolean is either true, false, or true or false, yes or no, right? So this is what is Boolean about. And then once we have that, we double click and let's change this to true, which is on. That means we on the fan. Yeah, we can just put on fan, and then this is off fan. Yeah, a little bit different from the tutorial, but we can do this. And what we want to do is kind of save the text as on and off. And yeah, basically we are already there. Then we save it. Yeah. So once it's saved, we return to the control sheet. Yeah. So right now we already had that control sheet. So we want to put in some fan control. So before that, we will want to put in some CO2 value. So with CO2 value, right, we need to find from the facade, right? So let's go to property sheet. So under the property sheet, we need to find some, or what do you call that, the CO value. So under the fan control, right, what we want to do is to find some numerical variable in the your sheet itself. So let's see. What I want to find is this wire sheet, and then we'll point a numerical variable. Which is here. So with a numerical variable, just push it up. All right, you can put anywhere you want. And then we put a carbon monoxide value, right? Carbon monoxide value. So you have some carbon monoxide value, assuming the carbon monoxide value is a certain value, then you want to turn on the fan. So we want to change this, double click this into some value, and then we can click this. So in terms of unit, we can find under miscellaneous called engineering. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, sorry, under scores concentration. My bad. And then from here you have ppm. You click OK, that'll be OK. And then you save this. Let's take a look again. So you have some control value, and then you have what do you call that? The value that you want to set. So now I want to set other value. So now we have your CO value, right? Your carbon monoxide value, some of the fan, and then what we want to do is we want to add a thermostat to it. So a thermostat will be Boolean point, and then from there, we are going to add a thermostat. So let me just find the thermostat. Find under the control key, there should be something called the HVAC. Under H, oh, sorry, pop out too much. Under HVAC, there should be something like thermostat. Let's go back to the lab control. So this is your wire sheet, right? You can just put your thermostat up here and just put it as thermostat, right? So you have your thermostat already. Okay, so we can set this thermostat, right? And then set the action, right, to direct. So it directly will set the action. We need to set this. How do we set this? We can just right click the arrow down, take away the null, and then if there's a difference for more than 4, right, that means something will happen. So that is what it's trying to say. The leaf of 4 is what it's trying to say, and then if there's a difference of 4, then something will trigger. So that's a thermostat. So let's save this first. All right. And we will want to select this pin slot later. So let's uncheck this, which is C is your control value, SP is your set point. Now I think we are almost all done, right? We'll set the facade to the thermostat is turn on and turn off. Yeah. So that is what is this. Then when it's now it's inactive, right? You set it to false. Right? This is really false. Right? And then control is true. Okay, so let's save this. Let's go back. So now you have a CO value, you have the fan, you have a thermostat, right? So what we want to do is basically push the fan a little bit further, right? And then have the thermostat here. All right, let's see. Let's try to put some value here, right? A thermostat of, let's check it. We set it a CO value of 40 ppm, all right? Okay, it will set a CO value of probably ppm, and then this is a value, right? I want to know this value. I need to put it inside the thermostat, right? So you can just click this, and this is basically our control value, right? And just click on this, it will shop out a control value here. So just now you see if it's a control value, then you will turn on. Now we want to set a set point, right? So setting a set point, we need the same idea. We can right click, right? We can copy this, and then we can also paste this. So this is a fan enable set point, right? And then you can click on this set point. Let's put the set point as maybe 30. Remember, there's a difference of 4, they will trigger. So now this is 30. We want to set the set point, right, into the thermostat. But you can't set this way, right? So what we can do is we right-click this. Sorry, right-click thermostat, and go to more pin slot, and click the set point. Yeah. And then link this to here. So you have the set point here. Right, so that's very good. So now you see now the value is 40, set point is 30. It turns out that it's on the fan, right? It's thermostat. So this should be on, and then we will link this to input 10. Fan become on right now. Yeah, so this will be something like that. Let's try, assuming we do the set point by 32, right? It's less than 4, right? Difference, you click, right? The set point is here. Fan is still high. Let's see. Let's put this set point to 20. All right. Then you can see that the fan is now off, right? So this is how you can observe the values, right? So yeah. So with this, what we want to do is we want to create a schedule, Right, in this schedule, what we can see is in this this fan control sheet, right? We want to put a schedule. So go ahead and then find in the palette a schedule. Right? If you can't find a schedule, you can click on this icon and type in schedule. Then it should come up framework schedule. Right. So schedule have different schedule. What we want to do on a schedule is a Boolean schedule. So we'll put the Boolean schedule inside. Boolean is actually yes, no, turn off, right? And then this Boolean schedule, we'll put it as the fan schedule. What it means is you will turn on and off the fan. Yeah, now you have your schedule. All right, let's go ahead, double click it. AS controller. All right, so this is basically your schedule. All right, we want to look at, we can double click and look at the scheduler. And then this is one way to look at it. So let's go back, right? When we can double click it, then you can kind of have this. So let's try to set some schedule, right? Under force, you can just click force, then you should have something that comes out, right? So assuming this is 3 to 9 p.m. Yeah. So right now I want to click one more. I can just click on top and assuming this is 6 to 9 a.m. Yeah. All right. So instead of true false, let me put it as the event itself. Sorry, let's just go to the mark or schedule. Okay. All right. Event output. Okay, let me just go to the weekly schedule again. Yeah. I will need to take a look at the property, right? And then default value is up or down. Okay. Sorry, I'll go to the property sheet. Yeah. Okay, I saved the station. So now I have the schedule. Yeah, if I want to copy the schedule, like for the rest of the day, I can right click and apply Monday to Friday. So you can just apply this. So this is how uh, the schedule can be kind of on in this way. Yeah. So one other way is you look at this fan control, and then you can see you can put it, uh, and then you can find, or you can actually come back to here, so that the schedule is kind of uh kind of out this way. Yeah. So let's connect the schedule out, right? Right now it is Sunday, and then we connect the schedule out right to the property of the kind of the thermostat, right? So we want to go to the fan, and then we will have the schedule out, which is here, right? And then I will want to go it to the fan itself. So you have a schedule, your fan will turn on, right? Yeah. So, but you have a schedule, your fan will turn on. But right now you see the parameter is 20 ppm, 20 ppm, but your set value is 30 ppm. So it becomes like it's off at the moment. Fan becomes off. So let's try again now. We want to turn on this. We can reset the action, and then we set it to say 40 ppm, which is very high, and then you can see the fan turn on. Right. So this is something that we can do, right? Okay, so with that, we want to input uh, this, and right now we want to add in a switch, right? A switch so that we can know whether the thermostat is working or not. So where can we find the switch? Switch is also under Boolean, right? So we can go to control switch. All right, switch, let's see, we can put it as Boolean writable, right? And then just push it here. And this is a switch. So we have a switch here, which is kind of Boolean writable. And let's try to set it as a default yeah, double click this, then click here. The default is off switch, yeah, easier, but sorry, the true is on switch, yeah, and then false is off switch. Okay. Right, and then save it. Then we go back to the fan. So with that, right, we can then now put in the switch, but before that we need to have a OR function so that it can actually helps to control is either by CO2 value or right CO2 value or by the switch. So we go to logic, you can see a logic here, logic, and then you put an OR value here. Yeah, so we just push the OR. All right, click on OR, right click and push it here. OR. Right, so your OR, what does it mean is right now, my default value is off switch. Let's try, default is set, that's off. Okay, proxy is now, right now. Okay, let's go back. And then I push this to input of A. And the output of this goes to the fan, right, which is number 5. But I cannot have number 5, so I go to the fan, right click, action, right click more, pin slot, and I can show 5 here by clicking the pin 5. Then I'll pin 5 here, and the out can then be going inside here. Yeah. All right. So let's try. Right now my switch, I want to turn it to be on and off. So how do I do that? I can Boolean writable, right? You need to write it. So you can point it, right click, right? Then we can set the facade to on off first, and then fallback value. We need to set the fallback value. Right. So how do we set? We can go to the property sheet. Right. So property sheet here. Then you scroll down. Yeah, there's a fallback value. So we take out the fallback value as now, and we set this fallback value to off switch. Off. Yeah. Then let's save this. Go back again, then it will be safe. So off, your switch is off, and then when the fan is off, your fan will be off. Let's take a look at this. And we want to change this to switch on. Yeah. When your switch is on, your fan can then be on. So switch is on, fan is on, right? Switch is off, then fan is off. So now switch is on, right? So switch is on, schedule is on, fan is on. Your CO level is high, and that's why it is on. So let's try to set your CO level. Oops, sorry. Back again, right click, action, set to say 20, right? 20 even means that there's nothing this is happening. You don't need to turn the fan on, right? Then you can set value is 20, enable value is 20. So now your fan is off, right? Your set value turns your fan off, your schedule turn it on. But right now your switch, right, you turn it on. So we can then now turn the switch to, let's say we turn the switch to off, right? So your switch is off, right? Although it's off, then your fan becomes off. Okay, so this is kind of what we have learned, at least in this particular lab 3. So let's go ahead, right click on this lab 3, new, maybe put a text box, click a text box, and then we just put lab 3, right? Put a little bigger size, bold it, and then save it. Lab 3. All right, so this is basically what we have. And then thanks again.